There's a little queen on the animated screen. Wait till you get a view of sweet Betty. Made of pen and ink, she can win you with a wink. Wait till you get a view of sweet Betty. Those eyes, that pretty nose, and oh, aside from this, she's got so much of those. If you want to see just a perfect little she, wait till you get a view of sweet Betty.
Hello, this is GDN3, and today I'll be doing an animated profile on Betty Boop, one of animation's first sex symbols. Since a good number of the Betty Boop cartoons from the 1930s are now in the public domain, I'm free to share you some clips from these cartoons for this episode. Betty Boop first appeared in the August 1930 cartoon Dizzy Dishes, the sixth cartoon made by producer Max Fleischer as a part of his Talk cartoon series. She was originally designed by Grim Natwick, a famous animator of the silent era. Natwick originally designed Betty as an anthropomorphic French poodle which looked ugly and awkward. After Natwick left Paramount Pictures, the studio distributing Fleischer's cartoons, a group of animators collaborated to improve the character design for Betty. By 1932, Betty's design was finalized as a human character, which made its first appearance in the cartoon Any Rags. At first, she was used as a supporting character in several cartoons featuring the star of Talk cartoons, Bimble the dog. However, with Betty's growing popularity in cartoons like Minnie the Moocher, Max Fleischer eventually gave Betty her own series of cartoons. Betty Boop was the first and one of the most famous sex symbols on the animated screen at the time. She was a symbol of the American Depression era who represented the carefree times of jazz-age flappers. She was the first representation of a sexual woman as she normally wore short dresses that bare her cleavage, high heels, and a garter belt in her cartoons. A recurring gag in her cartoons featured male characters trying to get a peek at her while changing clothes or walking down the street minding their business. Some cartoons even showed up the purity and innocence of her character, as there were true cartoons featuring antagonists attempting to take away her virginity, Chestnuts and Boop Boop a Doop. With her jazz baby appeal and innocent sexuality, Betty Boop's cartoons were largely popular with adult audiences during the early 1930s. However, the content of Betty Boop's cartoons became compromised with the passing of the Hays Production Code in 1933. The Production Code created guidelines that put strict restrictions on the content presented in American films. This meant that the sexual innuendo present in Betty's cartoons were prohibited under the code. As a result, Max Fleischer was forced to alter the character's image in 1934, as Betty turned from a carefree flapper to a single housewife or career girl wearing a fuller dress or skirt. Because of the more wholesome appearance of the cartoons, the popularity of Betty Boop declined. This decline was also the result of Betty's role in the cartoons being lessened to a support character, while her co-stars were put in the spotlight. Even when attempts were made to have Betty Boop be cast alongside comic strip spin-offs and bring her into the screen era, they failed to bring in success. The Betty Boop cartoon series ended on August 11, 1939 with Yip Yip Yippee. Not featuring Betty at all, she made her final animated appearance on July 7th of that year in Rhythm on the Reservation. All 110 of Betty Boop's cartoons were later sold to television syndicator UNM TV Corporation in 1955, who aired the cartoons on TV with the Paramount logo and all references to it removed from the shorts. Attempts to revive the popularity of the cartoons for over 2 decades were tough with the coming of color television and the retiring of black and white cartoons. But marketers discovered Betty Boop in the 1980s and created merchandise off the character's sexy appearance from the early 1930s. Despite most people not knowing her animated origins at the time, the merchandising helped revive Betty's popularity. This led to her cameo appearance in 1988's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and the popularity of UK rapper Betty Boop, who based her appearance and singing on Betty Boop. The rising use of home video brought Betty Boop onto VHS in the 1990s with an 8-volume videotape set called Betty Boop: The Definitive Collection. This set featured a number of cartoons from the Betty Boop animated library. As a result of Betty's popularity, her 1933 cartoon, Snow White, was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry in 1994.
Our stepmama, the queen.
I've heard about your looking glass, looking glass, looking glass. I've heard about your looking glass.
What it says is so.
Ownership of Betty Boop's cartoons vary in the different markets. Lionsgate Home Entertainment currently has home video rights to the cartoons that are under license from Paramount. CBS Television Distribution currently has the television broadcast rights. Paramount retains theatrical distribution rights, and Fleischer Studios retains rights to the trademark and character of Betty Boop. Despite all this licensing, there have been no DVD or theatrical re-releases of Betty Boop cartoons in recent years. However, 22 of Betty Boop's cartoons are now in the public domain and are available for viewing at the online library Internet Archive. This is all I have to present on an animated profile of animated sex icon Betty Boop. If you have any suggestions for what I should do for a profile, feel free to leave a comment at the bottom of this webpage. Otherwise, this is GGN3 signing off on Animated Profile.
You can feed me bread and water, or a great big sail of cake. Oh, but don't take my boo-boo-ba-doo away. You can say my voice is awful.